Good morning. What a great morning it is. Good morning. Good morning. What a great morning this is. What a beautiful day this is. If you haven't looked out the door, look out that door and see what the Lord has blessed us with. A beautiful sky, a beautiful opportunity to tell that neighbor to make sure that they're listening to the Clara Luper Show, 1220 on your AM dial. You know the AM numbers, but what you have to do is to make sure that somebody else is listening. There's so much that we have to do. We'll talk about that a little later. Calvin, don't get mad yet. Don't get mad because of the fact of the voting record. Don't get mad, Calvin, because of the fact that it takes just a few people to make a difference, and you are the difference. Hey, we appreciate you giving us the opportunity. It's an honor, it's a blessing to be a part of your life this morning. So sit back, don't relax, but make sure that you voted. Did you vote? No, probably didn't. Didn't too many people vote, but sit back, kind of relax. Portwood Williams Sr., I haven't forgotten your birthday. Mr. Wilson, I haven't forgotten the great things that you've done, but good things will happen to you as you continue to listen to the show. I bet you. So enjoy this. I know you're going to love it. Great things will continue to happen. Great things are happening because you're listening this morning to a great show. We got some exciting things. We got some shout outs we're going to do. We got some special things that we're going to do with those people that are here. The class of Douglas High School, class of 61. Welcome back home. We are proud of the fact that your reunion is happening. We're proud of the fact that there you will be making a tour of Oklahoma City. There you will have an opportunity to see some of the places that you remember. Douglas High School class of 61 is having their reunion now. I want to tell you about the Douglas High School class of 62, but last weekend we had some problems, and we will get a report. I'm certain that Doris will call in, or she will let me know next week, and we will tell you more about what happened at the Douglas High School class of 62 reunion, because of the fact that's the best reunion that's ever been had. Great things are happening in our city. Great things are happening in our state. Great things will continue to happen because of the fact that you're a part of it. You're going to make a difference. You have to make a difference. Reverend Drinkwater, thank you. Come a long way. Come a long way. But we got a long way to go. As we look through the different papers, as we look through the what's happening here, we know that each and every church has had a chance to make a difference, but not too many churches have really made that difference. But then we can brag on some of them. I have to brag on Fifth Street Baptist Church, and I know Reverend Coleman, my brother, my definite brother, in making some good sermons on Sundays. Now, it doesn't matter what day it is, but Reverend Coleman, you do a good job, and we're proud of the fact that you're doing a good job. I'm going to brag on some other ministers coming up. I'm going to brag on some other things going on. But we're looking forward to talking about an event that happened over 50 years ago. My goodness gracious. I don't know what that could be. But you will know because of the fact that you're listening here right now, live and in beautiful living color, here in the Blue Room, where we're blue as can be, where we're just as, it's awesome. But we're looking forward to later on today when the Clearview Rodeo will be happening. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to Clearview, but I do know that there's a young lady named Sister Irene Jerk, good friend of the family, great friend of the NACP, great friend of the NACP Youth Council, young lady that would go out of her way to make sure that the NACP Youth Council members would do something. I wish she was here, but I know that she's looking down on us now, and and she knows that the Clearview Radio Rodeo. Well, Kelvin, watch out. Clearview Rodeo, August the 2nd. That's today. Will be held at the Clearview Memorial Arena. Now, what they will be doing, it's a rodeo, real live rodeo. And if you haven't ever been to a rodeo, if you've been just to one in an enclosed environment, you need to go down to Clearview and see it. Now, how far away is Clearview? It's only about 30 minutes drive, only about a gallon and a half of gas, and gas has gone down to man for the Clearview Rodeo. We will be there. We will make sure that you are a part of it. We will make sure that you know about it. Class of '61, welcome. The new basketball team here, the Oklahoma City. I don't know what their names are. Maybe that would be it. But Oklahoma City, what you want to call us, but then will be a great basketball team. But then that neighbor next door has had an opportunity now to not only enjoy that cup of coffee or get that cup of coffee, but that neighbor has had an opportunity to get up and to be a part of this, the Clara and Luper Show. That neighbor has something to do because of the fact that here we are, that we're working together. We're going to make a difference in our great city and our great state. We're going to make a difference because of the fact that we're going to eliminate trying to kill each other. We're going to eliminate trying to make each other feel bad, some kind of way. It never has happened, but then we're going to make a gang. We'll tell you more about that gang as we continue here on the Clara Luper Show. I have some young men with me. No, I don't know if they want to come on this early, but we'll get back to them. There's some young people here that a long way away they've come to be a part of the Clara Luper Show. A long way away they've come to be a part of the Freedom Fiesta, which will be starting August the 17th. Now we are in August. You have an obligation out there. Don't do us like you did at the poll. Now we don't want young people. We don't want old people. We don't want middle-aged people not to come out to be a part of the Freedom Fiesta. Now, if you have nothing else to do, then don't worry about the Freedom Fiesta. If you have something that you want to do, if you want to celebrate in life, you want to celebrate the accomplishments that we've made as a community, Lawton, Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Tulsa. We did all of this together, and we want you to be a part of the Freedom Fiesta. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, but the Freedom Fiesta will start the 17th of this month. Great things happen. Are you a registered voter? If you're not, turn off your radio, go do something else. But if you're not a registered voter, we don't want you even to listen to this show, because if you don't have no opinion, you can't state your opinion. But the big thing is that if you're a registered voter, you have a chance to vote. Don't do like a lot of the people did in House District. What does that say, Darian? It says House District number 99. A lot of people forgot to vote. A lot of people forgot to express their opinion by the vote. Ain't too much more you can say, but by voting. Let's see, turn that page here. Then there's a lot of people that was in House District 97. They forgot to vote. And I'm looking at the official records here, and you wouldn't believe this. But after this great song, you're going to hear about it. But can you believe that there were some precincts where there were no voters? Can you believe that nobody voted in precinct 536? Nobody voted in precinct 538. Nobody voted. But we'll tell you about each and every one of these precincts right here on the east side, District 99. Great things will continue to happen as you listen. David, I know you're ready for us. I know that that you're wondering what's going to happen next, but then don't worry about it, because we're going to the Freedom Fiesta. We're going to talk to you about being educated, being a young person, being an old person, being a middle aged person that has to express your viewpoint through the ballot box. That's what it's doing. So I'm ready if he's ready, but I'm ready. But great things are ready for the for you, because this is live and in beautiful living color. We're bouncing along, but we know this, that we are registered to vote. We know this, that we are an NAACP member. We know this, that we are preparing for the Freedom Fiesta. You make sure that you are. Sit back. Don't relax, but get ready for this. Oh, great things are happening. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this show. Thank you for you listening. And I know that by now, that poor neighbor's tired of you knocking on that door telling them to listen to the Clara Luper Show, because some great things will be happening. We're not going to only talk about Clearview. We're not going to only talk about the Freedom Fiesta, but we're going to talk a little bit about the Freeman. So, what is the Freeman? I think that's all of us. I guess we could touch our Indian heritage. 672-1220 is the number out here. But sit back. You're going to love this conversation that will be happening shortly. Now, if you, since you have done, but you never decided to run for a public office. But I think I have on the line a young man that's going to run for a public office. Good morning, caller. How are you doing? Did I get the right caller?
You got the right caller, Cal.
Well, you
How
got
are
to
you
speak.
today?
Oh, fantastic! Second best day of my life. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm getting ready to get started today. Got some things going on in the community, and hopefully end up at the Charlie Christian Jazz Festival at the end of the day before it's all over.
At the Charlie Christian, what?
Jazz Festival going on
Okay.
downtown.
That'd be downtown in our great city.
And I will
You thinking our basketball players be down there?
well,
Not
maybe
new, man.
eventually they will when we get them here, I guess. But I intend it should be coming, though.
Good. Who am I talking with?
This is Willard Lindsay.
Willard Lindsay.
Yeah, I told you I'd haunt you every 2 weeks.
You'd haunt me every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Why would you want to haunt me?
I like haunting good people.
Oh, well, okay. I'm a good person,
Yeah,
but then why you want to haunt me?
Well, I was wanting to just to share my commitment and concerns for the upcoming election in House District 99. I guess I take point after the primaries ended on July 29th, and so I continue to want to have some dialogue and share with your informed audience the importance of having representation at the state capitol from the inside of the room versus from the outside, facing down legislation.
Well, Willard, you're going a little fast for me.
Okay.
Now, you're talking about the Oklahoma State Legislature, things that are coming up. You're talking about representing us. How would you represent us? And we already have a representation out there. We just finished an election where in several precincts there was no voters that came out. I'm looking at the deal here where one precinct there was only one voter to come out. What you gonna do? How you gonna make a difference?
Well, I think the most critical part of our process of the legislation is that we have to understand that politics is really not a game of ideology. It's a game of methodology. And when I say that, it's really about getting...
The big words kind of throw me off, man. I'm just
Oh.
waking up. It's 2 cups of coffee away from understanding what you're saying. I need to go by the gospel music warehouse. Wait, now start over.
Let me break
now
it
you're
down.
going to make a difference.
Let me break it down this way.
Okay.
It's a numbers game.
Okay.
We'd like to believe that it's about values and the things we identify with, and while those are important, legislation is really passed in our state legislature by having 50 plus 1% of the people in the room going your way on any given day. I have to continue to talk about that because it explains why perhaps we aren't getting the type of results that we want when we look at whether our representatives are doing good or doing bad. A lot of times you hear that they didn't pass anything or they didn't get anything done. We as African Americans begin to think because they're ineffective. And the real issue is that you have to persuade people to go your way. At least 50 votes. There's 51 legislators in the Oklahoma House of Representatives. Until you get 51 of them to agree with you on any given day, it ain't going to happen. And so that's why I have to say that it's a game of numbers, and we all understand the numbers. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Until you get to 51, you still lose. And
okay.
so
Well, see what you're saying, Brother Lindsey, Willard Lindsey. What are you saying? A potential candidate for the Oklahoma State House of Representatives, District
99.
District 99. Now you're going to make a difference. Now you're going to take something to the table. You're going to take something to the room that will change what we're doing. I mean, do you have a specific plan in mind? What you going to do?
Well, I'm running on some campaign promises, and my campaign promise is that I'm committed to fostering legislation that expands economic development opportunities in our communities, creating jobs, retaining jobs, expanding into new markets. Secondly, I'm committed to looking for legislation that promotes cultural enrichment. I believe African Americans have made contributions to this state. I believe you're committed to the same thing with the African American Memorial Plaza, where we need to commemorate those kind of things and expand and build upon it. And thirdly, I want to look for legislation and support legislation that empowers our community to re-engage itself, to get itself back together as a people. As part of the great heritages in Oklahoma City, we have Asians, we have Hispanics, and I think African Americans as a community equally should be empowered through legislative action to be able to prosper and reconnect itself. So I'm running on those three things because I believe they're the most critical building blocks to how we redefine what we pass on to our children and our children's children.
Well, Mr. Lindsey, you're saying that talk, and you're a part of a dream. You're part of hoping that our state will be a much better place. But then there are some people here that are just getting in town. There's some people here that are coming back to town, and they want to know specifically what difference will you make as a black male, there at the State House of Representatives. You're not a Democrat, are you?
No, I'm not.
Independent?
I'm not a Democrat.
What party?
I am the Republican candidate running in the November 4th election, asking for the support of the voters of House District 99. I think that African Americans make up 65% of House District 99. So I'm running as an African American. I happen to be a Republican, but I believe that that's actually a plus, and that it allows us to go in the room and have some dialogue at the table. And I don't think any other candidate running is going to be able to make that argument. When they meet in caucus, you literally meet in caucus. Democrats meet with Democrats, Republicans meet with Republicans. And we have to have our message being heard in that Republican caucus, just as it's being debated in that Democrat caucus. And clearly we have Mike Shelton and his seniority to carry that message on the Democrat side of that aisle. What Oklahoma County is missing is we don't have anyone saying the very same thing in that Republican caucus. And we've had devastating effects since 2006 with the election choices we made in House District 99, and that we were literally just shut out of the process. No one in that caucus heard the things that were important to us. And that was a travesty, in my opinion.
Okay, well, you're saying it, and you're talking to one of the most intelligent listening audience. I think each and every person that listened to the Clara Luper radio show voted this past Tuesday. I'm pretty certain I would bet on it if I was a betting person. But then I'm still a little bit confused as to what you gonna do. What's the difference?
Well, I think that let me put it this way. I'm not going to sit here and mislead anybody. I think you're going to get enough smoke and mirrors over the next 90 days. You should be pretty well intoxicated with smoke. The truth of the matter is, I can carry a message for the people in that room whereby the policy is going to be made. Typically, when we talk about what happens at the legislature, when a bill hits the floor, it's coming up for a vote. You can slow the process down, put some amendments to it, debate it, if you might say. But typically, when it comes out of committee, it's going to hit the floor for a vote. The part that we don't understand as common voters at the grassroots level is that the negotiations for that bill have occurred long before it ever hits the floor. They
And
call it
here's the
in committee.
difference. You think you can make a difference?
I believe that I can articulate the message, and I clearly believe I have the ability to debate it and to win the support or persuade others to see the right of specific pieces of legislation. And that's just a strong suit that I believe I bring to the table. I'm not saying that others can't, but I'm talking about I'm visiting with 58 members versus 44, and that's the breakdown between the Democrat caucus and the Republican caucus. So even with 100% support of the Democrat caucus, you can't get a bill passed in the state legislature today without getting 6 or 7 votes on the Republican side of the aisle. I believe I bring the opportunity to have that dialogue on the other side of the aisle and articulate that message.
Well, that certainly sounds interesting, but it also sounds like an impossibility. You know, over the years, we have never had a Republican that would represent District 99, that has represented District 99.
I agree.
Now, you're going to make a difference that way in what, I mean, you say what you're going to do. You're going to go in there and you're going to go in the room, and instead of 51%, 47% or whatever percent, you're going to do it.
Well, here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
In all honesty,
Repeat it for
saying that I have the greater
Darian and Fidel and I sitting here listening,
Okay.
and we're trying to get it all together because they can't vote, but I can vote. And I'm certain that a lot of our listeners out there can vote. They'll be at church Sunday, but then they'll be at the voting place Tuesday, whatever Tuesday it is.
I'm saying that the greater likelihood. I'm not prepared at this time to mislead anyone and say that there are guarantees that happen in the legislative process. There are not any guarantees that a bill can get passed or that a person can deliver anything that they may promise legislatively until they're able to muster 50 plus 1% of the support in that room on that given day. So I'm not saying that I can guarantee you that I'm going to move this bill or I'm going to pave that street, which we don't really pave streets at the state legislature, but I'm saying that the ability to go into the room and raise that debate, it may take 2 sessions or 3 sessions to get to where you're going because you have to get 50 plus 1% of the people to agree with you on a given day. I can propose 5 things, but in order to get these 2 people to vote for it, they may ask you to take that out. These 3 folks on the other side of the room may say you need to put these sections in order to get my vote. At the end of the day, the process is like making sausage. It's to hope that something's in that bill that our people ask for. And that's what I think I can do, is to articulate the message, negotiate the compromises that's going to have to be made. In some cases, it's going to flow right through. Other cases, you're going to have to give and take. It's just straight horse trading and bartering. So I can't. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm guaranteeing you, and I'm going to the legislature, and I'm going to build you a new house. We still argue for that. But there's a process that happens that determines, based on the majority in that room, what's going to be the final version of that bill when it comes to a vote on that floor. And so that's what I'm simply saying. I understand the process. I know my way around.
All right. Well, Brother Lindsay, how can I contact you if I want to be a part of your campaign? I'm a Democrat. I've voted Democratic so many times. And but how can I vote Republican? How can I help you in your campaign? What's the deal there?
Well, we finished the Democrat primaries, and so at that point, party goes out the window. I think
Party goes out the window.
Party goes out the window. It's over. You've had your day. That I think this is the strongest Democrat to face. I guess in this case, the Republican challenger. I like to believe that it's more about the people, not the party. You see, African Americans are minorities in either party. So the issue is, do we have an agenda with African Americans? And I contend that we do. And it's important that our agenda be heard in both caucuses. So to simply say that I'm going to have the Democrats carry my agenda and them only, even though they can't pass the agenda for me, is not a wise choice in my opinion. Remember, we talked about the types of voters last time we visited, and I have strong concerns about that. And I still say those 3 categories are very real. You're going to have those in that category at the top, which we call the... Anyway, I won't go back to that. I got beat up about that 2 weeks ago. But I think that if Democrats understand that their greater likelihood of success is to send a messenger who can carry the message inside the room, then Democrats should vote to get their message heard.
And your phone number?
seven five one
751
6671.
6671.
And
And
I'd
I
be
want to
very
talk with
interested in
Willard
talking.
Lindsay, who is running for the State House of Representatives as a Republican, as a black Republican.
I'm running as an African American who happens
African
to be a
American.
Republican, which is probably
Okay.
going to be the only one that gets to go through the door.
Hey,
And like I say, Mike Shelton's done a marvelous job. 8 bills passed with his hands tied behind his back. Just imagine what could have happened had he had someone on the other side of the aisle saying the very same thing and assisting. We could have gotten a heck of a lot more done. I just strongly believe that. And so the error occurred in House District 99, and we need to do something today to undo what we did in 2006. It's been a dismal failure. Don't, again,
well,
not
you
talking
talk.
bad about anybody, but it just didn't work.
Well, you talking that talk. You will
I'm
have
gonna
an
walk the walk.
opportunity. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Will you be a part of the Freedom Fiesta that is coming up here in our great city?
Yes, I am, man. I tell you, I was looking through that, Calvin, and I'm excited about it. Actually, I've got it marked off here for several days. I've got a pretty good agenda, but you're going to see me Sunday,
Okay.
Wednesday, Thursday,
The Freedom
and
Fiesta
Saturday.
is coming up.
Got it coming up.
It's coming
on my
up. We're
agenda.
16 days away from the Freedom Fiesta. I don't know why we even celebrate 50 years of being abused, you know?
Well, there was 300 years
that's
of
a
being
mess.
abused.
300 years at
Yes,
least.
it was.
But 50 years
50
right
years of
here in
freedom.
Oklahoma City. When we go down there and ask for a hamburger and a Coca-Cola, and not only did they have the nerve, but they backed it up. They said, you will not eat a hamburger here. You will not drink a Coca-Cola here. And now I'm listening to a young man who's running for the House of Representatives as a Republican. I'm looking at the fact that a black man, African American, is running for president of our United
Yes.
States. Good things have happened behind that hamburger. Well, I'm glad that they did not serve us in a way, but I'm sad that they waited so long to it. But Lindsay,
Well,
anything
let
special
me
you
share
want
a
to say
closing
to
thought.
us? Huh?
Let me share this closing thought. I think that the African American community embrace of Barack Obama should usher in some very positive things in Oklahoma, because here we're talking about a minority member of the majority party in Congress, Washington, being an African American, part of the Democrat Party. I have to embrace that concept and say that we need to, the same thing we're doing in Washington to gain the White House, it's the very same thing I need African Americans to do in Oklahoma to gain access to the State House in Oklahoma County, a minority member of the majority party.
Well,
That
we'll
is
see.
the strategy that works for us.
We'll see, and I'm going to invite you back on because of the fact that some things you kind of insinuate, some things you say that I can relate to. But the only problem that I have is being a Democrat for so long. I don't know how I could vote for a Republican, but we'll
Well,
figure that out.
Our life depends on it if our freedom is to continue.
If our freedom is to continue. Thank you. What's your first name?
Willard,
And what's your last name?
Lindsay,
And what's the number that we can call you to be a part of your program, be a part of your the
get behind that
active?
campaign. I need helpers. I need supporters. I need fundraisers. 751
Six.
6671.
Huh.
Let us all roll up our sleeves and do what we got to do to win.
All right, you got it done. We'll talk about you next week. Matter of fact, I'm gonna invite you to call me back. Okay?
All right. You
All
know,
right.
if you call, I'll come running.
No, don't come running because next week, next Sunday, next Saturday, man, we should be tired because we would have really have gotten ready for the Freedom Fiesta celebration that Oklahoma, the nation, will be a part of. We want you to be a part of that too.
We're
Great
gonna
things
fantastic.
happen.
We're there.
All right, counting on you.
Take care now.
Counting on you.
All right.
This
Bye-bye now.
boy talking about he gonna make a difference. A black Republican at the Oklahoma State Legislature gonna make a difference. But then we're gonna go ahead on and move right along. I got a few minutes left, but I want to talk with this person that's taking their time out to be a part of the Clara and Luper show. I know that you call your neighbor, you call that friend, and told them 12:20 is where you got to be for the rest of the day. 12:20 is where it's happening. Great things are happening. Good morning, caller. How are you doing? Welcome.
Morning, Captain.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
That's great.
This is Sister Karita McCurson.
Sister Karita McCurson. Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you for calling.
I just wanted to bring you lovely greetings from Delta Sigma Theta Sorority. A lot of
Delta
us have been
Sigma
all the way to
Theta.
Orlando, Florida for the 49th National Convention.
Is that all?
And we have had a lovely and great time.
You calling me from Florida?
No, I'm back in Oklahoma City now.
Okay. 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 Well, I'm glad that the Deltas had a great national convention. I'm glad that you participated and showed out for Oklahoma City. I know y'all do that Delta thing, but then the Deltas have been an important part of the civil rights movement. The Deltas have made a difference. So keep it up, Karita, will you?
I will.
Okay. Let me
Okay.
catch this other call, Angel.
Hmm.
Okay. Good morning to you. How you doing? What's going on? How are you doing this beautiful morning?
Good morning,
Isn't it a
Calvin. I've
beautiful
been
sky?
trying to get in because I have some information that I must get on the air this morning.
Well,
I
who are
must
you?
get on the air. This is Marilyn Hildred, and let me continue. Yes, we're getting ready for the Freedom Fiesta celebration here in Oklahoma City. And the theme this year is 50 years later, we can't forget. Yes, that is the day, August 19th, 1958, the day that war was declared here in Oklahoma City
War.
against segregation. Yes, we declared war on segregation, and we have continued to fight over the last 50 years. And we are going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate our own history. Someone days ago and years ago, someone wrote, one of these days somebody's going to talk about me. Somebody's going to write about me. I guess it'll be me myself. We must tell our history so our children would know the roads that they have been able to go over and their people have been able to go. Things have not always been easy because 50 years ago, we couldn't even drink out of the same water fountains as whites. We couldn't even use the same bathrooms. We couldn't even ride on the back of on the buses. We could not even eat in the restaurants. Yes, we have made a difference.
Merle.
And so on Sunday, August the 17th, get your pencils and papers because you need this information. Doc Williams Day. Yes, Doc Williams Day. Doc Williams was a bail bondsman here in Oklahoma City and was responsible for getting the sit-inners and freedom fighters out of jail. The kickoff rally will be at none other than the Friendship Baptist Church, Reverend Wayne Wyatt, pastor. And to kick off this sit-in celebration of Freedom Fiesta is none other than one of our own, class of 64, Reverend Samuel Craig. And on Monday, August the 18th, is Attorney John Green's Day. But let me go back. Mosey Walker is the advisor over that Doc Williams Day. And on Monday, August the 18th, on the John E. Green Day, we will have cakes and hot dogs at Freedom Center. And yes, at 6:30, we want to invite all of you to a reception at Freedom Center. Yes, Attorney John E. Green Day. Benita Williams is working on that day along with Rosetta Coleman, advisors. Tuesday, August the 19th, Cesar L. Williams Day, the black businessman. Yes, this is the day to remember because 50 years ago on a Tuesday, 50 years ago, August 19th, the sit-in movement started. I want you to be at the Oklahoma Historical Society at 9:30 a.m. because it will start exactly at 9:30, the press conference. And at this press conference, you will see the governor of Oklahoma, the mayor of Oklahoma City, the city council, the legislatures, yes, presenting. I can't tell you everything that's going to happen because I want you to be surprised. And also, there will be a special salute to Mrs. Clara Luper. Yes, at 9:30, not 9:45, not 10 o'clock, because at 10:30 this will be over. At the Oklahoma Historical Society, because this salutes the 50th anniversary of the Cat's Drugstore sit-ins. Then at 11 o'clock, Leola Ford, Wilma Ray, and we'll be at the Freedom Center at 2609 North Martin Luther King for the Salad Festival. At that time, you can come up there and register to vote and get your NAACP memberships. And let me tell you something. You asked me in the radio listening audience, what can you do to make Freedom Fiesta the celebration that we want? You can start out by getting registered voters. We'll be up to Freedom Center on Monday. Come up there, get some voters registration forms, because on Tuesday night we're going to have a voters registration laydown, and we're going to have a NAACP membership laydown. We can no longer afford to talk. We must put some action behind our talk. And if you're not a member of the NAACP, don't be a parasite. Don't be a parasite. Join the NAACP. Youth memberships are only $10, and the adult memberships are $30. Yes, and at 7 o'clock, the Freedom Rally at the New Zion Baptist Church, 1005 Northeast 28th, here in Oklahoma City. Reverend James Tucker is the pastor. Yes, and speaking there would be Shelley Marie Luper Wilson, the former national board member of the NAACP, the former president of the prize-winning Oklahoma City chapter of the NAACP. Now, when you go to the news conference, they're giving out some special memorandum about the sit-in movement, and you must be present in order to get these keepsakes.
Merlin, you're going a little fast for me, and I try to write as fast as you talk. I try to write as fast. I'm trying to keep up with you. But then the Freedom Fiesta is celebrating. I mean, what? I mean, why should we celebrate the sit-in movement? Why should we celebrate somebody telling us that you cannot have a hamburger, you cannot have a Coca-Cola? Why? What's so important about that?
Calvin,
yes.
You know your history.
I know.
I don't have to tell you how important the sit-in movement was to America, because the sit-in movement that started here on August 19th, 1958, changed the course of American history. When we sat down at Cat's Drugstore, young people all across this country started sitting down. And when they were sitting down for their rights and sitting down against segregation and discrimination, then something happened in America. Something happened like a hurricane. Young people sat down and we stood up for our dignity. Yes, we helped change the course of American history by being here doing the sit-in movement and sitting in. It started at Cat's Drugstore on August 19th. And as I said before in the open, we must celebrate our own history. If we don't talk it, who else would know? And Kevin, I must go on because you didn't let me go on.
You got to go on. I wanted you to go on, but I wanted to make sure that our registered voter listening audience, our most intelligent listening audience, that not only will come by various churches and will be a part of the activities that will be happening during the Freedom Fiesta week, but then you left off at President's Day.
At President's Day, I will announce everything that will be going on next Saturday, because I'm getting ready to run out of time, but I got to get some other stuff in. And on Thursday, calling all freedom fighters, all former sit-inners, freedom people that were involved in the movement. I need you at Freedom Center at 4 o'clock, from 4 to 7, so you can tell your story. You can tell your story like no one else can tell your story, how you were involved in the movement and what you remember. And this will be taped and put in the archives of Oklahoma history. So 50 years from today, your grandchildren and great-great-great-great-grandchildren will be able to see the contribution that you yourself made. Yes, calling all former sit-inners.
How will that happen, Merle? How will that happen?
The only thing that they need to do is come up to Freedom Center at 2609 Martin Luther King. We've done it before, but we've never done it for the Historical Society and the TV stations. So I'm looking forward to everyone that have participated in the movement to come up to tell their story.
Okay, that's just part of the week. Let's go to that Friday.
Friday morning will be breakfast, a pancake breakfast with Letty Ruth Hunter and Nancy Davis that will start at 7:30. Yes, Calvin. And then that night, it's a Freedom Fiesta fashion show. But Calvin, on Saturday morning, I have to get this in. It's Clara Luper's Day. And Clara Luper's Day represents all of us, all of the people that were involved in the movement. And at 8 o'clock, we'll start lining up at Pitts Park. And at 10 o'clock, the parade starts. And I want you radio listening audience. I want your churches, your clubs, your market, your marchers. I want you involved in this because if it had not been for August 19th, 1958, where would we be in Oklahoma City? Yes, the parade starts, and then it will end up at Freedom Center, and we invite you to be there. Berlin Nero is over the Clara Luper's Day Parade, and let me tell you something. The Dungee Tigers, where Mom taught school for many years, will be having their reunion next weekend, and I would like to challenge those Dungee Tigers. We're in the midst of the sit-ins where she was still teaching at Dungee High School to be a part of this parade. Yes.
Well, help me out, Merlin. I'm going a little slow here. How can I contact Berlin Nero? How can I contact you? I want to be a part of all the activities that are going on that week. I mean, who do I call or what I got to do?
Okay,
Email
you need
somebody?
To call 601-7710.
Mm-hmm.
601-7710.
601.
7710. Calvin, I got to hurry.
Merlin, you got to hurry. I got to hurry. I'm looking at the clock.
843-0873 or 424-3949. But then on Saturday night, the Clara Luper dinner at Fifth Street Missionary Baptist Church. Yes, we will honor individuals in the community that have made a major contribution. We call it 2008 Let Freedom Ring Awards. Will be given to Willard Moore, Nancy Davis, Carl Holmes, former Senator E. Melvin Porter, Portwood Williams, and Reverend John Reed. That's at the Fifth Street Missionary Baptist Church. The tickets will go on sale tomorrow. Make sure you get your tickets. You know, during the Clara Luper dinner, we have silver, bronze, and gold, $25, $50, $100. We use this in order to maintain the Freedom Center throughout the year. We need your help. We need your support. We need to see your face in the place because so goes one of us, and we've learned, so goes all of us. Calvin, I'm so excited. Let me hear from the radio listening audience. Let me know what you're going to do. If you don't have your membership, take out your membership. If you are not a registered voter, shame on you. Shame on you if you're not registered, and shame on you if you're not a member of the oldest civil rights organization in the United States. But we're getting ready, and we're preparing. I'm not going to let nobody turn me around.
Tell it like it is.
Oh, no, turn me around.
Tell it like it is.
Life is not like it was, but it's not as good as it will be. So I just want to say thank you, Lord. And congratulations to the class of 61. And I hope you come by Freedom Center to see some of your classmates on the walls of history because you have made a difference in the history of Oklahoma that have reflected upon the history of the United States. Love you, Calvin.
Love
See you later,
too,
radio listening audience.
50 years later, Merlin's talking about a Freedom Fiesta to celebrate. We can't forget because that Sunday, August the 17th, something is happening, Doc Williams Day. August 18th, Attorney Johnny Green's Day. August the 19th, Cecil L. Williams Day. August the 20th, the President's Day, former presidents of the Youth Council. August the 21st, 22nd, there Friday, Lady Ruth Hunter's.
Don't forget Senator's Day on that Thursday,
yeah,
so they
right.
can record their history.
Okay, August the 21st, Senators Day. My goodness, that's a busy week. Lady Ruth Hunter's Day, but Senators Day will be important. KT, it's a whole bunch of stations will be there. We'll tell
don't
them
forget
about
the
that.
pancake breakfast on that Friday.
I got 1 minute left here, Merlin, and I want to say that thank you for calling and being a part of it, of the show this morning.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday,
I want
we're going to do the whole thing.
Freedom Fiesta to have the whole show.
We're going to do the whole thing.
If we don't do it,
oh my
who
goodness!
will do it?
Oh, nobody will do it because I've just been doubly blessed. But sit back and enjoy this because great things are happening. Hey, I know you're having your birthday party out there.
We'd like to thank
we
each
love
and every
you.
one of
See you
for
later.
Tuning in to the Clara Luper Show. Join Sister Clara Luper here each and every Saturday from 9 until 10. And until next Saturday, may God bless you.
And the views and opinions expressed on the preceding program were not necessarily those of AM Radio 1220 KTLV.